Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm so excited to be here. So follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram, Elegant Jacqueline. So today's guest, we are actually going to be talking about self-reflection and unlocking your full potential. I'm super excited for today's guest. So let's welcome Miss Victoria Smith.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you, love?
Great, I'm good. It's Sunday. I got my tea. It's cool outside. What more can I ask for?
I love it. I love it. You look so cute today, too.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So yes, I'm super excited for you to be here today. So we have had some wonderful conversations, and we have really dived into a lot of really interesting topics for some of you guys that don't know. And so I love that we are actually going to sit down again and talk about just really finding your identity and just really manifesting a good future, and then your projects that are coming up.
Yes.
Thank
you so much for having me again. I'm so excited.
I know. I love it. Thank you, Bernard, for tuning in. I'm so glad that you watched my show and you are a supporter. Lots of love. Yay. So tell me, Victoria, about your project that you've been working on, and tell the viewers what you have been working on.
My last project that I just put out in April is my book, An Image Through Clear Glass. Is a mouthful to say. It's all about, fighting back against society to, accept yourself and be yourself out loud. A lot of the times we just accept what society tells us that we're supposed to be, and we don't, hone in on who we truly are because we fear that we won't be accepted and we won't get that validation. So, the art of self-reflection and, just self-assessment is really something that I'm really interested in, because a lot of people don't take that time to fully assess themselves.
It's true. And right now in today's society, there's an image that everyone's trying to pretend that they are, and don't really want to dig in deep to the real, true authenticity, of themselves.
Yeah.
It's hard to be your real self sometimes. With social media and with the image that people pretend to be.
Yeah, especially in social media, because it's easy to put up a facade when you're on social media. People can't really see you every day. People can't really know what's the truth going on in your background. They only see what you put in the forefront. So a lot of people take on a completely different life than they really lead in front of everybody else. So it's like, to people that know you, it's like, oh, you're kind of putting up a front. But then people that don't know you think that you're something completely that you're not.
Yeah. And how is it that you stay true to your identity? Is there a tip that you can give some people that are kind of getting caught up in the whole social media aspect and trying to pretend that there's something they're not, or they're more concerned about what other people think?
I think that the most important thing is really digging deep, and it's easy for us to live in our positive features. It's easy for us to shine through where we are the strongest. So I think it's, figuring out what your weaknesses are and getting comfortable with your weaknesses. Once you're comfortable with your weaknesses, you won't be so worried about everybody else being so uncomfortable with you. And, being around people that will be honest with you. A lot of people surround themselves with yes men that will only tell you what you want to hear, but they don't tell you what you need to hear. And you need to be around those people that are honest with you. If you're around all those people that, are the phonies and they're putting up that facade on social media, you're going to fall into that trap. And then that's what you're going to put to the world as well.
Yeah, and I love that. You said get comfortable with your weakness. That's so true. Is you have to really embrace all the sides of you, whether it's, the strong positive sides, but also the part of you that's the weak, the vulnerable, the, delicate side, and the side that's not as confident.
Right. Because I think that, it's important to learn how to do better and also still be yourself, because a lot of people see their weaknesses as something that you should try to level up but also don't lose yourself in the process. And I think a lot of people get lost in that process because, oh, I have to do better, I have to be better, but then in that process, you're completely changing who you are. You have to find that balance, the staying true to who you are. If you need to change something, let's say you need to change your attitude, or you need to change the fact that you procrastinate, still stay true to yourself, but make those changes. And a lot of people can't make that. They can't make that connection. There's just that disconnect there.
Yeah, that's so true. Wow, that's such good advice. I love it. You always have such amazing advice and amazing say. I love our energy.
Thank you.
I love it. So your book that you have out, tell me again, I know some of the history of it, but tell some of the newer viewers the history of your book and how it came forth.
Well, the book started kind of as like a journaling thing. After going to therapy, after losing my dad, and, trying to find my way away from how society was telling me to grieve, how I should be living my life, where I should be at a certain age. Because, society tells you if you're 30, you should be married, you should have kids, you should be at this place in your career. So it's kind of like I had to really separate myself from everything. And, that's where it was basically just me in therapy. Like it was, I had to cut myself off from everything.
Wow.
And, basically you have to hit bottom before you can build yourself back up. And, I was doing my journaling, and, that became, I wanted to share it with other people because, there was a lot of uplifting things that I would write for myself. And I'm like, well, if I had this when I was at my lowest, to see it somewhere else, because social media can be such a negative place at times. So it's kind of like, you don't go there for encouragement. You kind of go there like 9 times out of 10, even if you're not a messy person, you're going to go through those comments where somebody's arguing and you don't even know the people. And it's kind of like, but that energy, I'm a strong believer in energy, and energy really reflects and absorbs into you. So I had to cut myself off from social media and everything, but I wanted to be another platform. So when I got back onto social media, I created my page, Taking Back the Image, and it was, nothing but positive posts and quotes and everything like that. I took it a step further where we would have conversations throughout the day about, just positive things. And anybody that was coming negative, you got kicked off the post. So you were blocked off the post. You can't, no negativity. We're here to support each other. We're here to be a safe place for people to, express what they, what they feel like they're not able to safely say that in front of people that they feel like they're going to be judged. So that, led into, I want to write a book. And, I was like very timid because, even if we're working on it, we still want to be accepted by society. Everybody wants acceptance. Like there's not a person in this world that could say, I don't care if nobody accepts me. Everybody wants to be accepted by somebody. And, I felt like people were really going to reject the project because, people aren't really into positive things anymore like that. So it's kind of like who are you to tell me what to do? Yeah. Type of thing. So, on my birthday, I just jumped and made the Kindle and just decided I'm going to put the book out, and it got so much positive feedback. And, I helped more people than I set out to, and I'm just happy with that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. And it's so true. The scary part is society right now is kind of in a weird position where there really isn't a lot of positive, feedback and encouragement. But I've noticed with my show that I've been attracting a lot of incredible energy, including you, and a lot of amazing people in my life. And there is a crew that is really wanting to change the world, and impact and inspire others. And so I love that we are all being drawn together.
Yes, definitely. And I have to say that I love what you're doing. Everybody's podcast is really about what's the hottest gossip, what's going on in, this person's life and that person's life, and everything's about being messy. And, to each their own. If you have your viewers, you have your followers, that's your aim, that's your game. But like, I like the positive, podcast that lend out to the world to give people a place to come and get that energy.
Yeah. Only sharing positive energy. Anyone with toxic, bad, negative, bye. This is how we're here now. So going back to unlocking your full potential, how would you advise someone to really find out who they are and to really dig into who their true being is?
Well, first and foremost, I would have to say, and this is something that my dad said to me and it stuck with me throughout my whole life.
Oh,
If you're the smartest person in the room, find another room. And that's not to say that, anybody's beneath you. Always be in a place where you can enhance your knowledge. Always be in a place where you have other people pouring into you, where you have people feeding you. If you're always in a place where you're giving out your knowledge and you're giving out your energy and you have nobody pouring back into you, that's not a place that you want to be. And that's not to say that you have to cut off everybody in your life and find completely new circles, but it just means expand, different circles. If you find yourself hanging out with the same people every day and all you do is gossip when you get together, you need to find another room.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. You need to find people that lift you, motivate you, and inspire you to be better. And you really are, around the people that you surround yourself around.
Exactly. You are really a reflection. And a lot of people don't feel like, just because my friend or my family is doing XYZ, it doesn't mean that I'm that person. And that's completely true. But, to the outside world, you are what you are what you attract.
Yeah.
And, if these are the people that, let's just say, on social media, you're always caught up on somebody's social media doing something crazy, and it's not even your character. Wow. And if let's say you researched me, and I'm not that person. I'm full of light. I'm full of positive energy. But if I'm always on somebody's Instagram, acting crazy, you might see that and be like, I don't want her on my podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. And I used to be so much more open. So I'm guilty of allowing energy. I'm huge on energy too, but I'm guilty of allowing people with draining energy or toxic energy around me because I was always looking at the best in everyone and trying to, help inspire them and help bring out the better part of them. But then, it's like you lose a part of yourself when you do that.
Right. So that's because you have what I have. You have the savior complex. Yeah. You feel like you can, like energy is contagious. You want to put that positive energy out to other people, but you also run that risk of them leaching that negative energy into you. So it's, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So for people that are listening and watching, be very protective of your energy. Be very surrounding yourself around people that will make an impact in your life and help inspire you to do better, be better, and self-love again is huge.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
And also, don't get stuck in that victim mentality. Yeah. Everybody's always, when you get to a point where you do that self-assessment and your negative list might be longer than your positive list, and then you get stuck in this place where you're just down and out. Don't get stuck in the victim mentality. I like to live in the what now, because it's like, okay, I figured out that I need to change XYZ. What are you going to do about it now? Are you going to wallow in it? Are you just going to stare at the page and cry because you don't like these 10 things about yourself, but what are you going to do now? And, it may seem harsh, like I'm that harsh friend, because I've had those harsh friends in my life that I didn't even realize that I needed, because, I recognized my negatives. And a very toxic trait that I had was I don't like to accept criticism because I don't like to hear anything bad about myself. And I'm always on the defensive.
Okay.
And that's something that I had to change about myself, because I had to realize that, and sometimes it was coming from a negative place. You have to realize the difference between constructive criticism and a hater.
Yeah.
So the people that it was coming from were people that genuinely loved me, wanted the best for me, they cared about me. But I always took it as, you're attacking me. Why are you attacking me? Why are you only saying the negative about me? So it's all about, just taking that in and doing a self-assessment. And if it's not valid, it's not valid. But sometimes you have to look at it and say, maybe that is valid. And somebody had to tell me that, you don't like to hear anything bad about yourself, and you always feel like I'm attacking you when I say that. I wouldn't know that if the person didn't say it to me.
Wow.
So, that's something that I had to, change about myself. And I could look at that and wallow in it and cry about it. But it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? So now it's just like I take a step back, I listen. And if it's valid, it's valid. If it's not, it's not. But it's something that I change. So I like to live in the what now, because people just get stuck in, well, what am I going to do? Like, you have to find a solution. You can't just stay stuck in the problem. Recognize the problem, but then get to a point where you're looking for a solution too.
I love that. That's such great advice. It's so true, though. You can't be stuck in the victim mentality, and you really just have to let yourself, be surrounded by friends that are going to be honest with you and truthful, and say, "Hey, get over it." Yeah, and I'm very blessed to have some really amazing friends and really amazing people around me that are, very brutally honest, and it's like, okay. No, yes, yeah, true. So then, what projects do you have coming up?
Well, right now, I'm in the process of writing my book called Intentions. It's all about being intentional in, new relationships, even if it's just friendships. And, it starts out, I'm going to spill a little bit of the coffee here. It starts out with, leaving the relationship, like cleaning house, like, because a lot of people jump into things without closing that last door. So, that's how it starts. And then you have to, you can't build a manifestation on the past.
Yes.
You have to, look forward to the future, realize and recognize what happened in your past that you don't, because you can't know what you want unless you know what you don't want.
Yeah. Amen.
So I'm working on that. Soon after that, before the book, because I want them to come out simultaneously, I'm going to do a documentary in conjunction with the book, where I'm going to be interviewing different people, talking about their personal experiences with breakups and new beginnings and things like that. So I'm very excited about that, because it's definitely a completely new direction for me.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so excited to follow your journey, and I'm so excited for your book to come out. I am going to read it and check it out, because I have actually been working on relationships too, as far as, just letting different people in my energy, different people in my circle. And like you said, it's so true. You take the baggage from past relationships into future relationships. So I was guilty of that with my, marriage. I took that drama into my next relationship, which messed that one up. And then I recently closed the door on someone that I kind of had been hanging out with and dealing with for years. And I just recently blocked them. And, I'm like, okay, it's done. It's gone. Like, bye, move on.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to get to that extreme. Like, sometimes it's necessary to, completely remove the person. Sometimes you can remain friends, but sometimes, that, it's those soul ties. Like, sometimes you have to completely cut it off, or you'll never be able to let go. Some people just can't be friends.
Yeah, I've never been friends with an ex. Actually, there's one guy I'm kind of friends with, but it's like, we never really dated. It was kind of weird, but it's still, it's like far distance friends. But yeah.
It's not easy being friends with the ex, because, I'm coming from a 13-year situation, and we're trying to be friends. It's hard because, people become your family. You end things, but it hasn't always been bad. There's as much good as there is bad, and this person has become family. So it's like, you can't just cut it off. And so, it's like, it's hard to be friends, because those,
yeah,
it's a tough situation.
For sure. Yeah. And so then your new book is coming out. That's so exciting. And then you've got the documentary coming out, and then you've got your interviews. Woohoo. You have so much going on.
Yeah. Very big, very, very busy in it. And I'm trying to balance, and I've kind of gotten away from the interviews a little bit, because it's, and that's another thing, with unlocking your full potential. Yeah. You have to prioritize and focus. Yeah. So, the book and documentary is what's most important to me now. And, I was kind of down on myself a little bit for getting away from the interviews, but it's like, you kind of have to accept that, a jack of all trades is a master at nothing.
Yeah.
So, you have to hone it in sometimes and just do one thing at a time and just, hone in on what you're good at and you'll always be successful with it.
I love that. That's an amazing tip. I'm actually finding that same kind of balance too. And I've had to make a lot of shifts with my journey and with my career. And I was doing like 6 interviews a day. It was a lot. And so I'm learning to balance that and the dancing and the studio. And I'm finding, like you said, you can't do everything at once. You have to really prioritize. Yeah. And I'm finding more time to actually just sit on the couch, watch some Netflix, go to dinner with friends and do other stuff too.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. When the journey is yours, you can tailor it however you want to. So nobody can tell you that your way is wrong.
True. I love that. So is there anyone that you would want to collaborate with as far as, your journey?
As far as the documentary goes, I've done work with Mike Hill in the past, and I would love, because his story was amazing. He was actually the last podcast that I did, and he just married Cynthia Bailey, and he's had not so successful marriages in the past, and this time they're striving for the best, and their union and story is just so beautiful. I would love to get them on my documentary.
Shout out. I love it. Right? So excited. So as far as putting together the documentary, how does one go about doing that? Say, I wanted to create one and start one. What would be the steps that you would give to, some tips for people to know that are interested in it?
Well, right now, this is my first one. So, I'm looking into I'm researching right now. I'm looking into different lenses for my camera that I have, working up my pitch emails to get people to be in it, because it's going to be a very personal project. It's not going to be a virtual thing where we're online. We're going to be face to face, in the times of COVID. It's going to be a little difficult, with doing the traveling, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to work it out. But as far as the filming, I can't really give advice to that yet, because this will be my first one. And, I'm excited to learn. I'm always ready to learn something new.
I love it. Yeah, it's like you said, just start researching and then just kind of throw yourself into it and go for it.
Yeah, that's one thing about me. If I want to do something, I'm going to try everything. Like, I realized I'm not a salesperson. I've tried to do Herbalife, Beachbody, all that stuff. I'm not a salesperson. So when I find my niche, I find my niche. But, I'll try anything. And if I don't like it, I bow out quick.
I love it. That's very cool. Yeah, you try different stuff, Why not? One life.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try things to learn yourself. So it's like, that's part of the journey of, self-assessment and unlocking your full potential, is to not be afraid to try anything. If you're interested in it, give it a try. If it's not for you, move on.
Yeah, I love that. And it's, I feel like a lot of people are scared to try new stuff, and they put a lot of fear into their minds and, put a lot of pressure on themselves too.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing with, self-acceptance and then self-reflecting, is to not put that pressure on yourself and just give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, that's very true. Take that risk. Very true. Was there anything else that you wanted to let the viewers know?
If anybody is interested in life coaching services, you can find me at www.takingbacktheimage.com. Taking Back the Image is my Instagram handle. I'm most active there, so I'm not going to give my Facebook because I'm never there. But that's about it. And new projects coming out. And if you would like to purchase the book, An Image Through Clear Glass, that is available now on Amazon Kindle, you can best search it if you search it, Taking Back the Image.
Yeah, that's so cool. And going back to Taking Back the Image, so you guys now know where to find her stuff, which is really exciting. Can you tell us one section of the book?
One section of the book, well, since we're talking about it, I do have a chapter. Chapter 6 is entitled Using the Reflection.
Ooh, okay.
So, that's all about, just using other people's constructive opinions. And I use that very tightly, constructive opinions, because everybody's going to have an opinion, but everybody's not going to be valid. So, that's all about, just learning your goods, learning your bads through the eyes of other people, and then looking in the mirror and putting it into practice to, perfect the image of yourself, for yourself, not for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And you also have an article coming out, which I write for Sheen. For some of you guys that don't know, but I write for Sheen Magazine, and I also do live interviews for them. Shout out to my Sheen family. But we did an interview, and she will be having a written article coming out sometime too with Sheen. So you guys will have to keep your eyes posted for that. And I will, of course, put it on my social media too, and Instagram too, and tag you. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So you've had a lot of stuff happening just since we've actually met recently. I think it hasn't even been a month. It's been super fun to watch your journey and to watch everything happening and unfolding.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, this has all been 2020. It hasn't even been years of progress. It's all been 2020, and it's coming full speed. So, COVID has not gotten me down.
I love it. I love it. That's exciting. I feel like so many people are being brought down by COVID and are really miserable by it. But I feel like I love 2020. This has been an amazing year for me. I've had a lot of things manifest and unfold. And I feel like you said too, COVID has not brought me down. And I feel like a lot of the artists and creative people are really, flourishing during this period of time. And other people too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because it's really been a much needed time of stillness, for you to really think about what you want to do and put it into practice, because now you have the time, like a person like me that had to leave the house every day, because I do work a 9 to 5, I work at the IRS, so I had to go into the building, but now I'm home. So, I'm working from home, so I'm home all day. I have ample time, endless time to do anything I want to do. So there's really no excuse. If you want to do it, now's the time to do it.
I love it. Yes, guys. So if you want to do it now, do it. No backing out. So what is your legacy that you want to leave behind?
I just want to inspire people to learn themselves, and learn yourselves through the eyes of whatever spiritual belief you have, and just yourself. And not just to learn yourself, but be comfortable living with yourself in front of the world. I feel like our true 100% mental wellness comes when you can relinquish the need for validation. Yeah. And everybody thinks that their path is the way to go, but there's no one path to take to get to any journey. So, you have to, once you get to that point where you understand what journey you need to take for your needs, that's where you're going to begin to thrive. And I just want to be a part of, people just getting to that plateau.
Oh, I love it. And you're a huge inspiration, and you've just, made an impact on people's lives already. And you're just so genuine and so real and just so loving. And so it really reflects, it shows.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, love. Of course. Thank you so much for illuminating the world with your presence. Such an amazing being. And I'm so honored that you're on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I love working with you. I would love to work with you again on anything you have.
Oh, hey, yes, definitely. This is just the beginning. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yes, Bernard, thank you so much for tuning in also, and for all of your wonderful comments and stuff. So weakness, you have to embrace your weakness and, accept it. So definitely. But thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Remember to follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, and then we are also on 7 podcasts now. So you can hear our interview on Victoria Smith's Self-Reflection and Unlocking Your Full Potential on all the social media platforms. So yay! Thank you guys. Thank you to listening to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Bye, love.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.